Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV. We are here at 8th Cloud Expo, New York, as is Greg O'Connor, CEO of AppZero. And I'm telling you, this is the hero from Zero because things are happening with AppZero, Greg.
The hero from Zero. Now there's an introduction. I want everyone to remember that. So yes, Jeremy, I just want to recap a little bit what we see happening in the market today, which is really the change, and there's an inflection point we see in the cloud where people are moving beyond test and dev to really move production apps into the cloud. So at AppZero, we call that tapping the app.
Oh, wait, stop. Tapping the app. Tapping for apps, says the hero from AppZero. I like this. This is the rhyming interview.
It's the rhyming interview. So customers today, it's that transition and really leveraging the cloud to move production apps, and that's a huge deal. So at AppZero, that's what we do. We help people move from the data center to private clouds, from private clouds to other public clouds, and then there's those clouds in the middle that are sort of like the managed service provider clouds. And the big thing for us is you're only moving the app. You're not dragging along the OS. So there's lots of cloud destinations where you can't bring the OS. So by just moving the app, you can move it to those managed service providers where they certify the OS, they inject a bunch of stuff for higher SLAs, and then basically the business can get out of owning all that low-level infrastructure and just concentrate on the business value add and making the business more efficient.
Now, even an idiot like myself knows that you've been preaching this all along, so you must feel a great sense of vindication that 3 years on, the industry finally says, we need to be doing what Greg said all along.
Well, it obvious you can vision ahead, and markets, take some time. There's lots of apps are complicated. Data centers are complicated, and unfortunately, it just takes time for, the market to evolve. But
are you saying you over-visioned, Greg? You were too far ahead?
No, it's obvious as a small company, important to be early. So we're early. We've learned lots of lessons. We got lots of customers, and we're ready to help, really mission-critical movement of apps to the cloud.
So let's do that. Let's recruit some customers right now. They're thinking about this. They maybe, heaven forbid, haven't heard of AppZero yet. Got to nail them by talking about a really good reference customer or an implementation, a generic thing where they say, but that's me. Those are my pain points. Give us that.
So we see one customer who wants the agility to move to multiple clouds, and they're doing cloud bursting where they have enough infrastructure in their data center, but seasonality forces them so they need to be able to, instead of buying other hardware, move those order entry pieces out into the cloud. So they want to be able to do it, and some clouds have failures, right? I mean, there's some of that's been in the news. So because you can pick up and provision the app, they're able to provision it on different cloud providers. So simply moving what's much smaller just as the app into these different cloud providers, then they can get the agility and test and see who they really like relationships with, and they can learn faster and not have to buy all that hardware during Christmas time.
Now, when I see you like this, Greg, I cannot help thinking of you back in the Sonic Software days. This is another of this man's hugely growthful companies. And could this be like history repeating itself? Are you building another giant company, Greg?
Another giant company. Well, I don't know. The Sonic Software days, I don't know that was so giant, but
a giant success.
We know that as a category, people are definitely going to move apps to the cloud. They're going to move production apps to the cloud. That transitioning is happening. Some company is going to be very big in this market. And, of course, we believe that's going to be us. But as a market development, that's the important point, is that we're focusing on this problem. This problem is going to be really important for a long, long time. People are going to want to have the flexibility to move to different clouds and different infrastructures. And by just moving the app around, that's the fastest way to do it.
Well, this is clearly resonating with people who are following this out there. So they go to appzero.com. Where would you send them within the site?
Within the site, there's one section. There's 3 sections, one on the cloud, one on the enterprise, and one on ISV. So go to the cloud, see the math and the economics, and you can go download the product there too. And depending whether you're technical or you want to see the business case, those would be the 2 different places you would go.
Personal invitation from the CEO of AppZero himself, Greg O'Connor. Thank you, sir. I'm sure they're going to switch off this interview. Go to appzero.com right now. This is Jeremy Geelan at Cloud Expo New York saying thank you for following us out there on the World Wide Web.